Happy Thursday. Here in the Fairfax neighborhood, just above Melrose. I'm gonna walk down to Lacma, that area, walk up Wilshire, over to Labrea, walk back up to Brea. Have a nice long walk today. I've got some new sneakers on. Which is awesome. Hey, Nomad. Hey, Cariopolis. Happy Thursday. I always wonder if the chat works for a few minutes. So it's beautiful. For some reason, my watch, I don't have it I don't have like it's not always connected to my phone for some reason, especially when the weather is concerned. So I pulled up the weather and it said 86. Oh my God, what's the night? Oh, the night bot, that's fine. So we're walking through this really, really lovely neighborhood, just above Melrose High, where we went to the trading post. And then we're gonna wiggle our way down through Fairfax, down Fairfax. Kind of an interesting area. We've walked it before. What is it an ad for? Sorry, I always wonder what ads they show for the walking channel. If it's for sneakers, I want some of that sneaker money, or I want like a free pair of sneakers. I'll definitely leave an honest review. Maybe that's not what they want. So right over there is Fairfax. We're gonna tip over there in a sec. I just want to enjoy some shade. It's 78 degrees. If it's for Royal Kingdom, that kind of makes me angry. I hate Royal Kingdom. Some of these houses are pretty cute and untouched, have not been bulldozed yet, which is really kind of lovely. I mean, it's a pretty small footprint on a big plot of land. Definitely need the land, but check that out. Little hacienda. I don't think anybody's been there for years by the looks of the dust and the landy. Like they just disappeared. Hey, Kasapi. Hey, chick. Oh, the volume is extremely low. I was just whispering. Let me know if it's still extremely low. Because I can turn it up. Number 6. The other day it was, here, I'll try this. It's kind of peaking, but that's as high as it'll go. Yes. We switch ads. Sometimes we just back out of it and back in a couple times, depending if the ad's like 45 minutes and they're just talking about a lawyer, or Alleys of Melrose have some pretty awesome graffiti. I would definitely take us on a tour of that. We have walked through that before. Turn off the noise cancellation if it's on. It's on. But also, I used this kit in the house the other day for making that video on the members video. So I did tweak the settings. I forgot to switch them back, but I'm pretty sure this should be right. Hey, Jaywalker. I might turn the noise cancellation back down. I think it was maybe on too high. So we're tripping on over to Fairfax. Up there, that green building is the Pacific Design Center. I have actually never been inside of there. Yes, thank you so much, chick. So that's Fairfax High. That's where the Melrose Flea Market is. You can see why. It's a really big parking lot. Whew. I think I should probably I'm gonna walk a little bit slower. So I put off sweating for a little bit of time. I got a haircut this morning. I'm feeling fresh. For what that's worth, it's still a little bit long and shaggy, but hey, LA Unknown. I feel like the silent movie theater is around here, but I feel like I never find it, or I always walk by it. I'm not gonna walk through the Grove today. It's a holiday. Which has nothing to do with it. But I wasn't gonna walk through the Grove. I was just gonna walk down to the Lacma lawn and Labrea Tar Pits kind of area. I feel like going to the mall is like a trip into itself. I'm really tempted to go to the farmer's market. I just had a little something to eat before I left. We've tried, when you're gonna go away for a couple days. Oh, there's a silent movie theater. Wow, ADD. Much, yes, I do. Silent movie theater. When you're gonna go away for a couple days, you kind of stop buying food. We're down to crap to eat. Oh, now it's called something Studios. Absolutely. I know that I just missed a ciclovia. I live on the east side of Hollywood. So I tend to kind of sprout out from there, and I haven't crossed Wilshire too often. I mean, for the channel, but I definitely want to hit that area for sure. They canceled the ciclovia. Oh, definitely. It's almost better if you leave a comment, but just if there's somewhere you'd like us to visit, for sure, we're happy to show it. Happy to show it up. So this is a mini shopping area above the Grove. Lots of pretty cool little shops. Of course, on the other side of the street. Hey, BD. Thanks, BD. It was a little bit of rest on Sunday. I don't know why, but we're going away for 3 days. I know why, because, a little vacation. But, I've been putting off getting new tires for my car. This is I barely drive my car. I think the last rating, they were at 50% or something. And I'm whatever, I'll drive till the tread's off. But we're gonna drive 200 miles tomorrow or so. And I don't know. I'm paranoid, so I got tires. And then I thought I got the wrong tires, which is absolutely stupid. Another story for another time altogether. After I'd already gotten home, because they just looked smaller. So, a couple hours to get my tires yesterday. I edited the members video while I was at the tire place. And then by the time I got home from doing everything, I still needed to get a haircut. I got one this morning. Um, by the time we got home, Joe and I also got some new summer sneakers. It's been a really long time. I really have worn out my sneakers. 2 pair, all this walking. Yeah, we have to figure out the Long John Silvers. But there is one up there, so we're kind of down to go. It's summertime. I want a fisherman's basket. I probably needed a haircut like a month ago. There's Cantor's Deli. I'm gonna go there and get a corned beef sandwich one day. How's it going? Maybe not streaming, but just maybe streaming. I've had the same person for the past 3 times. I love a good haircut too, when the haircut can grow out for a month and a half and it still looks a-okay. Like, this haircut looked good for 2 months before I just couldn't do it anymore. Hey, is this where we got the Shamrock Shake? Absolutely, at Van Leuven. They've got black cherry chip milkshake. Well, after the 2 months, what I start to do is do a little trimming. You know, I trim a piece here and trim a piece there, and then it looks like, you can't really tell because my hair is pretty kinky, but it kind of looks, looks like a slightly different hairdo. But then when I'm at the 3-month mark, it just really looks like some 70s shit going on. Like, you know how everybody's, whoa, okay, BD came just in time because look what we have here. It's a giant newsstand. I think we've walked by it before, but never in this direction. Wow. And that was me in the little mirror. I'm wearing a very flowy linen shirt today because I thought it was 86 degrees. It's only 78. And not the most flattering shirt I own, but I wear it all the time because I don't care. So I just love I feel like don't want to like track this lady, but they've got some pretty rad graffiti. Who doesn't want world? Well, I can think of a few people. Let's see if there's anything in the alley before we just tip over. A little concertina, and then we're in for a pretty boring alley. I thought it might be cool. I wonder if this was a Lisa Frank store. That looks like that monkey, right? Does that monkey have a name? Hey, mountain bike fan. For some reason, I sound like the sky is pretty blue. It is pretty beautiful. It's like 78. If you type in weather with an exclamation point or vice versa, it'll tell you just what's happening. So we're about to cross Beverly Boulevard, which I don't think we cross this all the time when we're in Koreatown and we're on Western. It kind of goes straight through the city and runs into Beverly Hills, which also has a Beverly Drive, which kind of is crazy. When it runs through Beverly Hills, I think it becomes Little Santa Monica. I'm not sure if that's for the whole stretch. Hey, welcome to LA. This building used to be like a dish store. I never went in, bargain fair or China fair or something like that. I kind of regret it now that it's just a shell. I hope that the land is for sale. I hope they're gonna build behind the facade. Hey, Anton. For some reason, I really used to love to go to this gas station. Now it's way out of my way, but I feel like I almost never buy gas. Looking down Beverly, that is the Beverly Center over there, which we popped into a few weeks ago. It's funny. I used to have this book on Hollywood a long time ago, which I regret lending to a friend. It was a souvenir tourist book that you would get on Hollywood Boulevard, Cecilia. It was white, skinny, and a white thin book, and it had like Marilyn Monroe on the cover and famous murder places. I shouldn't say that. Well, maybe that'll do something for the ads, right? So it had famous places where people became unalive. Wink, wink. Um, and I feel like I read about Jane's house in there, or I feel like I stumbled upon it sometime like really early on when I lived here. It wasn't until we went to Mindy's star setting, Mindy Kaling's star setting, which I know is not a star setting, but still calling it that, that I think BD mentioned it because it has like a little plaque, and that's kind of sparked my curiosity at that time. And I kind of try to keep a list of things to look up and constantly be checking on, of which there are so many in California. Some of them don't work out for a good whole long walk, but I'm going to use some of those things for some more members only fodder. It was fun to create. I promise I'll get better and more professional. I really didn't like the purple blurb, but I couldn't figure out how to change the color. There used to be tons and tons and tons of garment stores around here. They're kind of gone now. It got really trendy, this area. I think it never went out of style. I love the farmer's market. I cannot imagine buying groceries there. So the house is owned by the same people that own Hollywood and Highland properties. It's not owned by a person, it's owned by it's owned by the people that own Hollywood and Highland properties, and it is, I think, something to do with a trust because it is a monument, a national monument. They called it a pioneer house. And I thought, a pioneer, but actually, they were in 1903. I was like, orange groves, and you're losing your opportunity, Big Bird. I'm gonna die right now. Hey, and so there's even more, like they found a ton of stuff in the walls. I feel like every city has one of those stories about the house where the people never moved. Okay, so remember Webster? Didn't they live in like a house in between two giant apartment buildings because they refused to move? There's that like house in, I feel like China or somewhere where they just like built around the guy. I feel like Hollywood just built around this house, and now it's hidden behind a strip mall. The strip mall is designed to look like it, so that's another reason why it's easy to miss. It's crazy because I tried to find the caretaker said he found the school registry and her wedding picture. I found the wedding picture obviously online. I didn't go to the Library of Congress, but I could not. I I put the little girl in the window. That's just like an urban legend. I couldn't find any proof of that, but I figured, what a nice way to wrap up the story with a spooky urban legend. If I would have had more time, I would have added a poorly tuned piano. We'll get there. I have a computer which I love. It's a MacBook Pro, but a tiny one, and I never bought a computer for doing videos. So it's really, although it's not old, it's maybe actually it's kind of old now, 4 years old. It's really not always up to the task. Plus, I'm a terrible like saver of things. Well, thank you. I was gonna try to do two. There's another building right around the corner. Maybe I'll whip that out. So, although we're going away, I don't know how we're gonna live stream, but I'll see how we can fit that in. I am gonna make and put up lots of stuff about where we're going. And then the members only Long John Silver's. We just have to figure that out. Thank you. There was one part of it that after I already like exported it, I just wanted to re-record it. Um, I think it, I think I ended something like it was a question, like a Valley Girl. But here's the trick, though. I did them for you. I maybe can put them on the main channel, but I probably would give them to us too. They're more part of what we do. When we walk, right? We look at these buildings. Sometimes we do deep dives into them or talk about them. But sometimes it's hard to maintain a storytelling when you're walking and reading the chats. I realized that when we went to Chinatown during the Hollywood punk thing, so I might just do a background members only version of that. There was so much more that I couldn't mention, plus I was really sweaty. Sweat's a big deterrent. That Whole Foods used to be a Kmart. I just thought I would mention that. If you're ever visiting LA, you can always just say that to somebody. It's a fun bit of trivia. Heat stroke is definitely a big deterrent. I've got water. I've got money for water. I drank some water before I left. I tried a whatever they are, Gatorade something the other day. It tasted like raspberry vomit. And then an orange one that tasted like St. Joseph's baby aspirin, but not as good. All right, so I love to sweat, but not like If I'm exercising, I kind of love to sweat, but like when I'm just walking and going into stores, also like I will tell you, like I only wear deodorant a couple days a week because I don't know that it's great for you, but let's not get into that, right? I vacillate. And I try not to smell. But we ran out of deodorant on Monday or Saturday and kept forgetting to buy it. We bought it on Tuesday and I still haven't put any on. So, not great to sweat. So the baby aspirin is probably not called that anymore because I was like born in 1918. Um, I actually love St. Joseph's baby aspirin. Like I could gobble those down all day. And McDonald's had a shake called the Arctic Orange Shake that came out in January. I feel like they used to do shakes seasonally. Shamrock Shake being March. And the Arctic Orange Shake also tasted like a St. Joseph's baby aspirin. I feel like I remember as a kid just taking those every once in a while because I like the taste. Like the Flintstones chewables. So Cecilia, I'm right there with you. The back of my head, for me, it's the back and the sides. It's like I have four different types of hair on my head. Some straight hairs, um, but mostly curly. I prefer my curly hair. Uh, it looks fuller. So once I sweat, it's all over. Any like cute little style I had is gone. Here's the place that I bought my DJI microphone. Sammy's camera. I bought local. Oh my God, the Flintstones chewables. Also, like whenever they thought to invent gummy bear vitamins, we were having gummies for everything for a while. Joe and I. I swear the hair and nail ones. Don't ask me. My nails were so thick and still remain like thick to this day from taking that. They were just normal nails before. Now they're like I can cut myself with them when they're too long. My I grew hair under my knees. I don't have very hairy legs for some reason. I'm not trying to get dirty here. I just don't have my hair. My legs are lightly hairy. But all of a sudden, this thick hair grew under my knees. I'm pretty sure it was the vitamins, but it also could be old age. Wow, that's crazy. I feel like a lot of jewelry stores are getting robbed right now. Maybe if the police weren't busy downtown so much. I've always thought these apartments were kind of weird. They look kind of cool in a way, like it's probably a townhouse. But yeah, that's right outside your front door. And it's not like you get to live in like a real city. It's just a townhouse. Are you kidding me? Johnny's? Johnny's? Johnny's is gone now. The Fairfax area is really, really lovely, actually. Um, What street are we at now? 5th Street. One of my favorite drives when I used to work in Beverly Hills was to sometimes faster to get in between Santa Monica and Wilshire to Santa Monica and Wilshire to go home. So some people take Fountain, Willoughby. Those are the shortcut streets. I would come over and take 6th sometimes. So 6th Street, which is up ahead, I thought it would be the next street, is pretty cool and beautiful and vintage and picturesque. I would love to take a walk up it at some point for sure. But today we're heading for Wilshire. Yeah, it's nice. I just like, if I have a little bit of lawn in the front of my house, I want a fence because I want to like let my dog out on it, or I want to sit on it. I wonder what year these were, probably like 60s. So this is like a surrounding complex. Within this is Park Labrea, I think it's called. So there's some high rises in there that are crazy looking. Are crazy huge. They're not crazy looking. They look like typical yucky high rises. I wonder which door I would like best. We are heading towards the Tar Pits for sure. So once I get to Wilshire, I'm gonna go through the Lacma stuff. I'm sorry it's not later in the day, because the lights are off probably to conserve electricity. I'm gonna go through the Lacma stuff. I'm gonna stop and tie my shoe on this person's porch. I hope they don't get mad. Give me one sec. And one more. Let's do a double. Thank you for letting me use your porch. All right. Doot, doot, doot. Wasn't it? So it was iconic looking though. Like that was Googie architecture. And I think they tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to preserve it, but eventually they had to give in. And I could be wrong about specifically it being Googie. So, straight ahead of us is the Peterson Museum. They don't let you film inside of there. I really do love cars. So this is Lacma. There's a whole museum inside and also a dome. I've never been inside Lacma. I think it's going to be on my bucket list. So I can't tell you what the dome is. But I can tell you that this thing coming up is called Levitated Mass. The Peterson building, we'll see it again when we walk out the front. It's that that red and white swirly looking building. That's where, can we say it? That's where we lost one of our all-time great musical heroes. I feel like Johnny's, wasn't it in Pulp Fiction? I feel like it was in a lot of stuff. There was a show on a couple years after 6 Feet Under about a unalive woman. It was like quirky and she was a ghost. So not the place I want to be during an earthquake. But it is a very cool spot. I feel like they filmed 90210 The Peach Pit at actually City Hall, right? They used City Hall for the high school. High school. Sorry. I don't know what that accent was. It just came out of my mouth. All right, I'm glad I didn't wear a t-shirt. This breathable linen shirt is much better. I just feel like it's too floppy and wrinkledy. So I want to go look at the lights, look at the little fun cafe out here. We'll see the Peterson Museum for sure. And then we're going to head over to the Labrea Tar Pits. My first, idea that Los Angeles actually might be great was the Labrea Bakery. There was a book that I had, the Labrea Bakery, and it just showed the door of it. You didn't really know what it was around or what it was, especially if you were not from Los Angeles. But it just showed the door of it. And then it had this image of a pretzel inside, like a handmade pretzel. And it was just looked like the most extraordinary, part crunchy, part doughy, offering everything a pretzel could offer you. Delicious. And then I moved out here, and for a while they were in every supermarket. Oh, kind of a little mass produced. I love these guys. This is much busier than the last time I came here, actually. And you know how much I paid to get in here? Nothing. It's $175 on the bus. So I'm not really into the Cobra. I just want to see. It's the only one that I see the plaque for. Oh, it says do not step in grass. I was hoping it would be like, these represent the signs of the zodiac. They're a little creepy. The dragon's kind of fun though. The rabbit, Donnie Darko. So we will get much better at being able to describe mocha. They have a nice little mocha, did I call it? Lacma. Sorry. A little marketplace over there where you can get a cold beverage. Not us, though. I brought my own water. So, not everybody gets in free, but we see a lot of kids here because LA County kids do get in free. Oh my god, the temperature just dropped 10 degrees. And I would be a bad vlogger, or whatever I am, if we didn't walk through this and check out the lights, because we really love architecture and lights. It's weird that you're not allowed to climb or run through the lights. I heard that the Steven Spielberg building is gonna open soon too. There's also some steps at the end that you gotta kind of look out for. Except, you know, when you're in awe of art, it's easy to step off or nature sometimes. It's easy to step off a cliff. We're gonna walk to the curb up here. This is the Peterson. Hey, Gridley. Hi. I kind of love that. Oh, that's the Broad Contemporary Art Museum. And that's not under construction. I think that's to hold up the posters. So we're just gonna walk up to Fairfax. That is the Peterson Art Museum right there. Labrea is behind us. We started off on Fairfax. We are gonna turn around and go back to Labrea so we can see the tar pits. In front of us is Fairfax. Sorry if I just said that 15 times. Little window art. This is the former, oh my gosh, kill me. Former department store, Macy's maybe? Hey, Ty. I love the Palladium. And also, it's the Academy of Motion Pictures. There you see Oscar. But it was a department store. Which it kind of looks like. Oh my gosh. I totally apologize, Cecilia. I thought this had been barricaded for a while, but look. Hold on. We're gonna go up to Johnny's. If it was open, I would totally get a grilled cheese. And obviously it became Bernie's. It is not a restaurant. Sorry. This is from 2020. Free college fries. Let's peep through the window because that's always the most fun thing that we can do. Let me see if I can reduce some of the glare. Somebody's having a Pat Benatar moment there. I don't remember who asked, but yeah, this is Googie architecture. We're gonna walk back down, of course, because we want to go to the Brea Tar Pits. It would be a shit shame if they tore that down. Like, it was still lit up for a long time, the sign. I don't know why I'm talking like Yoda, but it was still lit up for a long time, the sign. Sorry, that's my Yoda. It's a little out of practice. So, Peterson Auto Museum. Oh, yeah, I thought about. I'm dying to get a corned beef sandwich. We tried to make it, not corned beef, but a pastrami kind of sandwich maybe a couple weeks ago. It's pretty bad turkey pastrami. It's, I wonder if we could go into the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. I'm really thankful for this soffit right now because it's cool. So Wilshire Boulevard is right there. We're gonna go back in and enter the tar pit through there. So we'll get a second look at the lights and whatnot. And the gnome. I think it's a gnome. Yeah, it is a new metro stop. From DTLA to the west side. So I guess it may be a continuation of the purple line, whatever it's really called, sorry. I don't want to ruin anybody's Instagram moment, but I might. We're gonna walk back through the lights. Hello, Dale. No trip to Los Angeles would be complete without getting your picture taken in front of the lamps. I wonder if the 24-hour fitnesses, hey, are still open 24 hours. I know there's one near our house. I don't think I would want to go to the gym after like 10 a.m. I like exercising first thing in the morning. It's kind of like mentally flosses my brain. I can't really explain it. I almost just prefer to exercise at home though, than to go to a gym. But that's just my hang up, if there is a hang up there. But a yoga class, I would rather go to a yoga class than do yoga at home. Although I could, or would, and have. All right, so Labrea Tar Pits. Here we come. There's also an inner museum. Right? That's the trick. You live in a building with a gym and then you can just walk out your door. If I had my way, I would have like a climber. We have a rowing machine, but I would also like a climber. lots of free places to sit. The cages that you see around here, those are like tar spots. 99% sure. That building is going to be amazing when it's done. I think the story is that they started digging up this area. They found a lot of prehistoric stuff and they preserved it. A tar hole, I guess. So basically, this peaceful park was perilous for animals who walked here 20,000 years ago. Labrea's goo made this unsafe ground for both predator and prey. 6 foot tall, 2,000-pound sloths got stuck here and died. So did bisons, horses, camels. These creatures lay dying. Hungry, dire wolves and other predators tried to live off their remains. Many of them died in the process. They found a lot of their bones here. It smells like tar. My first, I think, see, that's tar over there. Also in the street as well. Sometimes you can see the tar seeping through the cracks on in this area of Wilshire. My first, I think, memory or like thought of this was, I feel like it was on an episode of the Flintstones or Laverne and Shirley when they moved to California. That's the real reason I wanted to move here. I think there was an episode, somebody getting stuck in a tar pit, and I think it was Laverne and Shirley. But I think it was also on another TV show, like a cartoon. The Flintstones makes the most sense, right? So this is where they found the dwarf pronghorn, but I think this pit is under construction. Nice to see a lot of butterflies. Well, wait till you see the main museum. It definitely looks Flintstone-like. Imagine coming down here to get your tar for the governor. Just kidding. I'm really just kidding.
By looking at these climate patterns around the world, comparing it to the data that we have here, we can make informed decisions about climate in Southern California. If you keep collaborating with communities,
We are. Ooh, here's a good tar pit. We'll come swing back up around here. There's part of this when we get to the end that kind of makes me a little sad for the animals that found their way in here and not their way out. Oof. It smells like a construction, like somebody's doing a roof. I wish I could stick my camera through so you could really get the smell of it. You can't. I'm kidding about that. Let me take a second while I'm at the tar pit to just thank my members. Really appreciate you guys. That's not that nice. Here, I'll put it in a little white background. Thank you guys so much for your support. You're the reason why I make member videos. I'm glad you enjoy them. A little bit of a learning process. I'll get the hiccups out for sure. Okay, I want to go see these bears over here. Or whatever they are. I think they're the 20,000-pound sloth. Not quite an eco park, but eco park with tar. Give this guy ears and it looks like my dog. Well, my dog has shorter nails for sure. What a cutie. It has been, I'll tell you, Ty, it has been really hot the past couple days. This is the first kind of reasonable day at 78. I think it was in the 80s or 90s every other day. Where we're going, it's been in the hundreds, but it's going to cool off there to what we had at the beginning of the week. Did it say 20,000 pound sloth? Where did I get the 20,000 from? I feel like I might have made that up. Okay, well, we can't forget this guy over here. Our fun, cuddly, it's not the California grizzly. This one looks high. I'm so sorry. Just a little. But still a cutie. All right, so look up to the right. You see those like weird tusks? That's what reminds me of the Flintstones. The perfect time to come here, by the way, is January or December. Joe and I came here in January and December, and beautiful. No people. But if people are your thing, come on down. I think it ate some brownies, though. It looks more like a brownie eater. So I think these are the pits that you mostly see when you see the pits. The ones with the elephant. My favorite part of the Flintstones was when the waitress brings out the rack of Brontosaurus ribs and puts them on the tray and the car flips over. I mean, from the theme.
Here comes another one.
So we're gonna just check out these guys over here. Like, they didn't need to make this one. This is just unnecessarily sad. But circle of life. What I found kind of funny about the Flintstones is that this is before my time, for sure. It was on prime time. So this one, with the elephant stuck in the tar, I hate that one. God, I love me some Flintstones. We were talking about that really early on. Uh, the Flintstones chewable vitamins and St. Joseph's aspirin. So I've never been to the George C. Page Museum here of Labrea Discoveries. I hadn't planned on going today, so I'm probably not, but maybe we could go see this. These museums, they usually have no problem letting me film in. I remember when Anne Margrock was on the Flintstones, aka Anne Margaret, and there was a Bewitched episode. This is how you know it was like prime time in the 60s. That was what I always found cool, was that although it didn't last as long as The Simpsons, it was kind of like The Simpsons in a way. Oh, this might afford us a view of something really cool. Oh, I could have walked up the hill. So the museum is down below. Also, we had a lot of 60s TV shows on in the 70s and 80s. I think I remember like when the Ginger, Mary Ann, and Mrs. Howell formed a girl band called the Honeybees. So we are above that museum. Also, when you're a kid, you just relate everything to yourself. My grandmother lived in Bedford, and I, for some reason, thought that was Bedrock. What was Bedrock was named after. This is a really peaceful moment that I'm not going to spoil by falling down there. I'm ready to see a dinosaur here. And remember Kazoo? Only Fred could see Kazoo. I recently watched the Honeybees on YouTube. Joey didn't think it was as funny as I did. Gilligan's Island was definitely a show when I was a kid that I loved to watch also. Those were all the reruns. Remember, like before 1980s or 1990s, we didn't have like all these independent networks making shows, so there were probably only like 100 shows from before the 80s. I'm joking. But I also watched That Girl, Mary Tyler Moore, a lot of Mary Tyler Moore, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, all these 60s shows. I think a rock band like the Byrds landed on Gilligan's Island, and they were trying to convince them to take them with them. I don't remember the full story. I think maybe the skipper and form a band, but they were so good that the band that ended up on the island thought they were going to like steal their fame, so the girls tried to form a band that they wouldn't be jealous of. I only remember the girls' band, the Honeybees. Like where? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a TV show, but like they literally had a costume. They literally each had a honeybee brooch to wear. I'm not taking the stairs. I'm taking the hill this time. I'm going to take the stairs. I didn't see anybody else taking the hill, and I don't want to look like a... Shoot. I am going to take the hill on the other side. This poor gentleman just fell up the stairs, so I'm glad. I hope he looks okay. It's true. It's true. That Gilligan's Island was definitely proof that humans just don't do good things. All right. If I get yelled at for coming down the hill, I'm gonna blame you guys. I'm just kidding. Wow, Joe, my new sneakers are it's like I'm walking on a cloud. I loved Star Trek. I used to watch Gilligan's Island reruns with my grandmother when I was a kid on Friday night, I feel like. And she would serve me coffee, mostly milk. Well, I walk a lot, so those other two sneakers were one was like 6 months old, and the other one was probably like 4 months or 6 months old. Actually, one was like a year and a half old, but I really didn't walk as intensely in the past as I have this year.
Best mountains in the world.
Oh my god, I remember that one too. Or didn't like there was also one where like Gilligan was like Napoleon. So the Labrea Tar Pits, I love them. I will say I could have gotten a slightly lighter pair. Joe got some new sneaks too. So we're gonna go on a trip. Joe doesn't buy sneakers and stuff as much as I do. I get 2/3 of the closet. Um, but anyway, so Joe got some new sneakers, and actually his sneakers have a sole that is like insane. I just got like New Balance running sneakers. I kind of like the Cloud Monster ones, but I don't like big writing on the side of my shoe. And also the sole looks like too foamy somehow, or too much white, like a big white wall tire from the 50s. I don't think it's for me. I'm a traditionalist. There you go. And remember when that used to be Marie Callender's, that building over there? I'm always kind of like wonder about this statue. You can wonder about it as well. It's a water feature. Oh, sorry. Oh, I've read this before. Hey, Hollywood Detective Club. Hey, Joey B. This is called Primavera. I don't know that I've ever eaten at the Marie Callender's, actually. At Marie Callender's. When I first moved here, I confused Coco's Marie Callender's. Coco's Marie Callender's. And there's another restaurant like Mimi's Cafe. Like I thought they were all the same. So yes, SAG after the building. We're seeing no one there today. It's too hot. Too hot. Did we see you in anything, Ty? They still make Marie Callender stuff. It's in the grocery store. It's really like I didn't grow up with it, so I'm not nostalgic for it. I do love me some chicken pot pie though. Delicious. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like when I was a kid, we always had frozen pot pies in the freezer. Morton's, that was the brand. Beef, chicken, and vegetable. Constant rotation in my house. I really like making it from scratch. I'm maybe not the dough. I just don't have a kitchen with a big enough counter to do like dough. This is Hauser. Some say it's the shortcut to the airport. I kind of agree with them. I think Morton's and Stouffer's were the same. We had a lot of Stouffer stuff. I feel like Stouffer's was what like seemed like rich. Like if you had Stouffer's, your parents were rich. So I take that back. We didn't probably have Stouffer's. Hey, focused. Maybe Morton's was like the no-name brand Stouffer's. So I also never had a microwave growing up. My mother wasn't really into microwaves. The radar range. And then when we finally got one, it was so old that it had wood paneling on the side. And it was called a radar range. So when that came, still pot pies, we started cooking the pot pies in there. First of all, you had to take them out of the aluminum thing. Secondarily, they never got crispy. And they're just gross. A pot pie is only good in the oven. I never had Lawry's, but we used to have Lawry's seasoning salt when I was a kid. I would literally just eat that. Oh, that smells like the tar pit also. Not a good day. Smells like their engine block just cracked. Actually smells like a diesel car when the head gasket goes. And how would I know? Well, I had it. We used to also have something called Greek seasoning, which I'm pretty sure was regional to New Hampshire. And it was like white pepper, black pepper, some garlic something. And I could also eat that out of the pot. I also was really fond of eating iced tea mix. It was the perfect bite. That is a really lovely building that is for lease. It says Desmond's, so I believe it was jewelry store. It kind of looks like a jewelry store, and then Silverwoods on the side. I've seen it in some videos of Wilshire Boulevard in like the 40s. There's the El Rey Theater. I kind of really love this theater, except it's carpeted inside and it doesn't have seating. So maybe I hate it, but I like the way it looks. It's a really gorgeous building, actually. On the shady side of the street, mind you. Even this Nouveau Federal building, kind of interesting. And this is the saddest building, not the Walgreens, but the one after it. So when Staples Center was the Staples Center, Staples was on Wilshire Boulevard up here, and this building looks like the Staples Center. Now it's nothing. Because, like, why would you want a building that looked like the Staples Center? They could reopen the Brown Derby and paint it brown. I think it's just going to get worse. I just hope it doesn't come to the day that we're really just only shopping online for stuff. I need to try things on. I like to try things on, I should say. I mean, with the exception of these sneakers I have on, I bought my sneakers online the past couple of times because I could never find the Pegasus Nike in the store, which is a really great lightweight shoe. But after trying them on in one store, like, I knew they fit, and then I could just buy them online. Same thing with like the J. Crew. I can usually know if something's going to fit me from there, and so I could buy it online, but can't just shop at one store and buy one kind of sneakers. I really like I hate being in crowds of people, but I really like the experience of being around other human beings. I just don't want to get poked. I remember one year that Ralph's Grocery had full-size potted Christmas trees for sale, like $13.99. This was like the Christmas before COVID. I'm so sorry, I just had to spit. I'm gonna step into the shade for a second. Oof. To do something. Oh no, my mic just turned off. Hello? No, it didn't. Let me know if the mic changed. It doesn't look like it did. Yeah, I'm just stopping to get a little sip. Which, stupidly, I can't quite reach the water in my backpack. But I will figure that out. Alright, so... hold please. Actually, I also love to take this as a shortcut, Cloverdale. Okay. Alright, I've got some cheap Crystal Geyser. I kind of love Trisha Paytas. I don't know why. She's complicatedly simple. And then, like, at the heart of it all, she just seems like sweet. Alright, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna walk a really hot block. Labrea is an excruciatingly hot street because there's no trees. I gotta tell you, it feels like it's 80 though. So for some reason, Cecilia, when you mentioned Johnny's, for some reason, there was also a building, not a coffee shop, over here that was somewhat historical. I think it was a partner to whatever this building was over here. Right? And that they tore down to build the metro station. And for some reason I thought it was Johnny's. But I also feel like this block has been under construction for 20 years. I feel like in this little square there's been mad construction going on for a really long time. They're expanding the D line, also, I call it the purple line, but they're expanding the D line, and I think they're opening it soon. Because they closed the purple D line for 70 days a little bit ago. I remember when there was a really cool restaurant, like where it says pasta salada. I remember they had a drink that was a vanilla Dr. Pepper. No, a Dr. Pepper with Woodford Reserve whiskey, which has got a vanilla taste to it. Maybe it was vanilla Dr. Pepper with Woodford Reserve, but it was so good. Hey Ty, what was this building? This is a department store at some time? This has been like a mixed bag the whole time I've lived here. Oh, Blockbuster. Even that was an experience, Mostly frustrating if you went with a friend who liked crappy movies, but it was an experience. Let me check my battery. I just never understood why Blockbuster also priced their snacks so high. Like, they were like an alternative to going to the movies. They should have been alternative price. Sorry, you guys might want to turn it down for a second. It's just an ambulance or a fire truck. Labrea really starts off with some nice trees, and then as you get further and further up, they just sort of dissipate. I used to do a lot of walking on Labrea, and I remember just to run a couple blocks in the summertime. It's the Munsters car. We missed it. No, we didn't. I would be full out sweat because there's just nowhere to get respite from the sun. So this is the original Labrea bakery right here. Before it became a grocery store chain. And it really was just a cute little door right over here. Oh my god, that I really love M&Ms. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it. I really love M&Ms. Well, I really do love M&Ms, and it's one candy I'd like to get when I get candy. I think they don't have corn syrup in them, so I feel like they're healthy. Unlike a Twix, which I also love, but that caramel is pure corn syrup. Anyway, it's like $2.69 for a bag of M&Ms. $2.69. I don't even think that's the share size. What fresh hell is this? Universal's always hiring. I'm always in the back of my head but thinking of a part-time job. I'm like, maybe I could work at Universal. I would hate it. maybe. I totally miss the 99-cent store. Although the 99-cent store M&Ms that would be 99 cents would be like Fig Newton flavored or something. I remember when they had a whole window on Labrea full of Butterfingers hot chocolate. Little vintage shop. And Butterfingers hot chocolate. Whoever. I also washed my car this morning. I kind of love washing my car myself. But I would love somebody to come over and wash it. It's just never as shiny. I think I would be disillusioned. I think there was a lot of things that I would be disillusioned if I actually did them. I also thought maybe I should get a waitress job for 2 days a week. I really could not do that. Or I could work at a sub shop counter. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to continue with YouTube, right? And not have to go back to working a full-time job by doing little projects in my spare time for people. But also I think it would be really great to get out of the house. I feel like my car needs like the clay bar, and then it needs to be waxed or whatever people do to cars now. There's some kind of clay thing that you can do. And it seals the like cracks and stuff. But my car was really, really, really dirty for a while. Like it's been probably 2 months. I almost never drive it, and it sits covered. Keep your head up. I could be a personal tour guide in LA, but I think I do this for fun, right? And it's really fun to hang out with you guys. I think if I were really doing this with human beings that didn't walk as fast as I did, which all of you do, it might take some of the pleasure out of it. So we're walking on the shady side of the street, believe it or not. There are a lot of furniture stores on this street. I think, sorry, I'm just moving my gimbal. They were trying to make, how often do I drive? It depends. Maybe once a week, if that. I hate driving. I love driving, but I hate driving. I hate driving in LA. Not that it's that bad, but I could dress up as that Silver Man, except a different color on Hollywood Boulevard. Poor people with no trees have to wait for the bus. Third Street. We could kind of walk that way, but it would be kind of boring. I think Labrea, kind of a little sexier of a walk. I almost feel like I should cross the street though. I kind of need a hybrid work week. Um, I just need maybe to get out of the house and talk to other people. It's not a it's not a be all end all. I just also like, you know, oh, I hate when that happens. Hey, Shauna. Oh, here, I'm gonna give it a second. I'm missing half the conversation. I apologize. I just saw Cecilia. You should get some. I do owe you a donut. The Voodoo Doughnut's place up here. I guess I could get a donut there. Although for some reason, I was thinking I was walking up Western back, and I was thinking of that. We went to, now I'm not going to remember it, a new ice cream place the other day. We walk by it all the time, but it's on Western. Joe will remember the name. I said it before I left. I was like, I'll be walking by that. I'll get an ice cream there. But no dice. Oh my god, a custard filled donut I do like, but it's too hot for that for me. No custard on a day like this. So, clothing stores for a couple blocks. This is a American Rag. Emphasis on the rag. They've got some. They have a really nice jean department. Like, they also have some really cool vintage stuff that actually gets remade. And just their employees don't seem very well treated. Their bistro chairs are in stock. That's an interesting concept, that this M Cafe pop-up kitchen. I used to love M Cafe. E3, don't look at the solderer without your glasses on. There's a super sweet little building. The Casa Labrea over there. We're really on the wrong side of the street for... Oh, here's where the kids are today. What are they waiting for? A new pair of slides? It's crazy that Stussy is still a thing if they're waiting for Stussy, because that's been the thing since I was in high school. Never in a million years would I wait in a line for that. So a donut, like ice cream, for me I don't like a complicated one, like with Rice Krispies on top and da 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 da. I should have crossed the street there. So when we looked at the Voodoo Doughnut, VGIGA, I can't even say it, Voodoo Doughnuts last time, they were a little complicated. I'm gonna see if there's anything there. I really would rather have something cold. Fortunately, I got a hat on, so my head's not burning, but I do have a gimbal tan on my right arm. We are right around the corner from Hancock Park, where we could go to Salt and Straw to get an ice cream. I'm really into soft serve, though. There's one over there. I also like, I think ice cream cones should be under $12, under $10, preferably $5. I don't know where there is a Krispy Kreme, probably in the valley. Krispy Kreme donuts are good if somebody brings you one. If somebody brings you a dozen, the problem is they're so fluffy and you literally could squish the whole Krispy Kreme donut down in your hand and compress it to a single bite. So they just don't fill me. I always feel like I need like 3 Krispy Kreme donuts to get my donut satisfaction. I like the classic, like buttermilk donut. That's right, like the Dunkin' donut. It used to come with like a handle on it, by the way. I'm dating myself. And it's exactly, or you could even dip that in chocolate, like those Entenmann's donuts. And I love that for coffee also, dipping a chocolate outside donut. Look at that beauty of a car. Right? I used to want one of those so bad. I just kept getting the giant 4-door version. I went to Winchell's a couple of weeks ago and got a donut. And I have to tell you, I don't think they're the same. The only thing to get at Winchell's is that it's like an apple fritter. I've had so many good donuts since I started this stream that I don't know, Winchell's just doesn't cut it for me. Joe and I used to get a Winchell's donut like every other week when we would walk to the bank. If it's in our neighborhood, we usually end up walking there. My dream would be to cross the street here and get on that shadier side. Awesome. It says walk. And I will. Straight ahead, Hollywood. So Labrea and Beverly. We love a bear claw too. Really, it's crazy. I heard a story on the news I can smell donuts for some reason. I heard a story on the news about the president sending more troops, and I don't know, 2,000 more troops. I don't really understand that, or maybe I misheard that. We have a Home Depot that is not too far from us, which is a lovely little, almost like village around it. There are people that cook out there and sell tacos and hot dogs. And there are a bunch of guys out there, guys, waiting to work. And it's perfectly it's right next to the Target. It's really lovely to walk through. I see them so often. They say hi. Most of them are not there anymore, but they did an ice raid on that little area this morning. Mobil and Chevron are the same. Shell is Shell, I believe. So on the East Coast, I think it's Mobil, and over here it's Chevron. Kind of like Hellman's and Best Foods. I'm kidding, not at all. But we used to have Getty gas stations on the East Coast growing up, and they had those Sinclair gas stations out here with the dinosaur. The first time I heard of the Sinclair gas station was in the Cremaster movie. I can't remember which one of the Cremasters it was. That's crazy. Okay, this is really just sad time. The Sinclair Dino Mart. There's one in Virgil Village. It's a dump. What was that? It used to be a Valero gas station, which was always the cheap gas station. But then it became a Sinclair, and when it became a Sinclair, I was really excited to get dino-powered gas. Ha ha ha, it all is, right? But it's like a crappy gas station. Old pumps. I think I got M&Ms there that had melted in the bag. They're not even supposed to melt in your hands. Oh no, I know. I got a Snickers bar from there, and the chocolate had bloomed. You know what one of the big scams of gas stations is? And I realize this, I don't know, maybe I don't realize it now, but back when I had less money, you would go to the gas station and you would just get swipe at the pump and just stop the meter yourself. The gas station would take $250 and hold it for several days until your transaction processed. One time this happened to me at the most inconvenient time of my life, when all I had on my credit card was $250. And I think I had to pay for something really expensive and maxed out my other credit card, like a dog or something, and I'm like, oh, I got $200 till payday, that'll be fine, and then I can pay off everything. And they just used it all for my $10 worth of gas. That was when I had an electric car. So now I always go in and order my gas. I think New Jersey, it's illegal to it's illegal to pump your own gas in Jersey. It's too dangerous for Jersey natives. I'm kidding. I have no problem with New Jersey. I don't know. I feel like it's something from the olden days that they were able to keep from the olden days, when gas was still a mystery. Hey, Allie, it's pretty temperate here. It says 79, it's about 81, but there's a really nice breeze. A very particular section of Labrea is very Hasidic Jewish. You will see a lot of schools and kosher stuff. Also, I don't know if your city has these, but our city has these. There's a thread that goes around certain blocks in certain areas. Um, and I could really get this wrong, but if you're Hasidic, you can't toil on the Sabbath, but you can. I'm really butchering my whatever, however I'm explaining this, but you can't cross that wire. I just remember 2 pumps, full serve, self-serve. Now nobody has full serve. I don't mind pumping my gas. I just don't like going inside and paying for it. So coincidentally, back to them overcharging you guys when you swipe at the pump. It's usually not a big deal, but for somebody, and for me in that particular instance it was, I read an article like 2 years about it and what a scam it was. Also, why does it take 3 days to process a $15 transaction? Crazy. So one of the blue laws in Boston, which is you cannot work on Sunday, I loved because if you worked in Boston on Sunday, you got paid time and a half. And when I was growing up, I worked for a department store called Filene's. And as a worker at Filene's, I was entitled to become part of a union. And the union was based in Boston. So when I worked at Filene's in New Hampshire, I also got paid time and a half on Sundays. Old blue law. No working on Sundays. You also couldn't tie your horse up outside of the public library. So you guys want to get a donut? And there's Voodoo Doughnuts right there. Let's just look at the menu. It's open almost 24 hours. I don't know what that means. Look at the line at Pink's Donuts, Pink's Hot Dogs.
She's not mad at you, and I'm like, well, obviously she's talking to you. I'm by Pink's right now, dude.
All right. Don't they have an ice cream donut? I remember when I lived in Europe for a little bit, you couldn't grocery shop after like 5 o'clock. Those are vegan on the bottom. So the sweet orange canola, a sweet cream canola looks good, but Oh wait, what did I miss? Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Joseph, Hey, Mary, thank you for adding 5 memberships. I'm really sorry. I was not looking at the screen. I was not really thinking about donuts. I was thinking about what would be the least messy thing for me to get and eat. Mary, thank you so much. Let me give you, definitely not that, a bow on your head. You definitely deserve, oh, beautiful butterflies. Some sparkles? No, fireworks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Continuously. All right. That person's yelling. So, chuckle sounds gross. The chocolate ring sounds. Maple bar is always great. Go tart. I thought we did. Joe, you have to pull it up. I thought Joe was trying to convince me not to get a donut by saying my name over and over again. That's my bag right there. The chocolate old fashioned. But I think I'm gonna try the. Okay, so here's the. We get. I don't want to spill too much stuff on myself. So the choices are the churro, which is right here. I'm tempted to get that, but that just looks like a big mess. So the churro, it's got some stuff on top of it, kind of cool looking. Sweet cream cannolo. That looks like it might be easy to eat. Or we'll pick a crazy one that. I'm just looking for some structure. Okay, or the old dirty bastard. I'll just go whole hog. So we got old dirty bastard. There's no way I'm eating a cinnamon roll. There's no cinnamon roll. And no powdered sugar, which I also love. So, old dirty bastard, vegan. Churro. Or sweet cream cannolo. You have to pick one of those 3. Old dirty bastard. Fair enough. Okay, we got old dirty bastard. Let me get my card out. Hopefully they don't give it to me in a box. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna just not film them, by the way, as you know. Or the donut maker. Sorry, it's just. I'm not sure.
So what will you go on bring big soda? The 1163. Raspberry jam, and then dip into chocolate and add flavored icing on top.
I just want. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. How are you? I'm doing alright. Can I get a old dirty bastard donut? Do you have cold coffee or just hot coffee?
We do a cold brew.
In a can? Oh, can I get a cold brew? Yeah,
And
thanks.
then we can do that with no syrup, or we have vanilla or caramel syrup.
Is it sweet without the syrup?
People say it's a little bitter, I think.
Alright, I'll have a little of whatever syrup.
Yeah,
Please.
vanilla or caramel, and then we can also do oat milk or half and half.
Let's do vanilla and half and half. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. And that's gonna be $9 shipping.
Thank you so much. First I tap the screen. Thank you so much. Alright. Little Bob Barker art. I think I walked in the wrong end. It's in line with the donuts that we usually get. So it's like a donut man donut.
I can add it for you. I just
2, I guess. Yeah, sorry. I can't even see what Joe is saying. Definitely a sugar rush. Thank you so much. Cheers. Take care. Alright. I stuffed my pocket full of napkins. This used to be a Chipotle. So here we go. I'm gonna sit on the wall until they kick me out. I've got my iced coffee. It's weird that they don't blow up on the iced coffee so much. No dinner for me. Voodoo guy's a little scary. Alright, I'm gonna put my cami down. My cami. Not ever something I say. But we'll look at the voodoo guy. And I'll try to show you my donut. I mean, I'll definitely show you my donut. Very friendly girl that helped me. I don't know about putting caramel into my coffee, but it's a little bitter. So pretty cute bag. I have to figure out where the camera is. Hold on. Boop, boop, boop. Pretty cute bag. This episode is brought to you by Cecilia. The donut was $4.75. I owe you another donut. Oh, this donut's dirty. I've got things bouncing off it. So it's a squishy kind of donut, not like a cake kind of donut. I'm sitting somewhere where people totally can see me, and my mouth is not big enough for this donut, but I'm trying to show you the donut. I'm balancing on my knee. I'm not trying to really show you my knee, but This is my table. I could be more embarrassed eating a hot dog with a hot dog on my knee. So it's peanut buttery, which I didn't get from the picture. It's got literal Oreos on it, and then chocolate. And it's not like a buttermilky donut. It's a spongy one. So my problem with the stuff on the top when it's a spongy donut is it just slides off as the donut collapses. I'm still trying to show it to you. If it falls on the ground though, I'm not going to eat it. So I have to say, if I come here again, I'm going to get the old-fashioned the yellow cake donut. Nice peanut butter flavor. I just feel like the cake is too soft to support the topping, but it's a great donut. I felt that way about the strawberry donut too. Like, the donut wasn't substantial enough to hold the strawberries. I really hope I don't have chocolate all over my face. Oh, I did drop the last piece of donut. Okay. Why that donut was good? A lot of reasons. The flavor combo, kind of cool. I don't think the Oreos were crispy enough, but I kind of loved it. I think it was a little dry because it's vegan. Ew, that's the sound of me trying to sip the coffee. Would I get that one again? Probably not. Because variety is the spice of life. I probably shouldn't get the old-fashioned either. But I love that. I'm using the condensation. I also have to now pick up my donut bit. So this is definitely also not a white pant donut. It's potential melting chocolate issues. All right. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Aha. Well, you couldn't see my haircut. You just saw crumbs on my lips. They do have a lot of exotic choices. I have to say, I hope I didn't sit in any chocolate. Whoops. I'm a donut purist. Joe loves a Boston cream donut. For me, it's just a little sugar overload, but yum, that was good. I guess I won't be able to get an ice cream later, Joe, if we go. The hot dogs smell fantastic. But doesn't it take 7 minutes off of your life, each hot dog you eat? I've already taken enough 7 minutes off my life. I don't think Joe has a fondness for donuts that I do, but he will eat them. Mostly begrudgingly. Like, I have to convince him to get a donut by saying, something like, well, we just walked like 7 miles. I think we can eat a donut. Joey Chestnut is definitely cooked. Every year he loses lots of 7 minutes. I'm gonna keep the party going for a little bit now that I've had a donut. I wasn't really turning off anyway, but I'm gonna dip off of Labrea so we can walk through like that hipster block. It's also a little shadier over there, and visit the ghost of the 99-cent store. So that's 2 unalive 99-cent stores that we've seen today. I thought when they were talking about them closing, it was really all of a sudden. I thought they were supposed to put a pick and save, like the guy from Pick and Save was going to save some of them. And I feel like nothing ever happened to them. Hey, Mike. Hey, everybody. If I missed anybody, I'm super duper sorry. I was busy stuffing my face with a donut. Wasn't able to celebrate Monica, Mary. I'll just be grinding my teeth. Coffee. I corrected myself. Mary. I'm going to say it like Jack Hay. Casa Atleti. I don't really know what that is, but there's an event happening there next to our old 99-cent store. There used to be a Big Lots around here somewhere. This is the only place I've ever seen Big Lots. I feel like once I moved here, I feel like my aunt mentioned a Big Lots in New Hampshire at some point. And now they're gone. That was a weird store to wrap my head around. It felt like I know, I love her too. Here's our Sprouts. I love Sprouts. So if I want to go grocery shopping at Sprouts, I would drive here. Ew, discharge only. There's nothing like Pier 1. I feel like Pier 1 came about in a time when we were still kind of discovering the world. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you know what I mean? And things were more exotic. And they were really interestingly curated, but then everybody kind of could curate that stuff after a period of time. I feel like the same thing for like Williams Sonoma. Also, it was that little old guy going to Paris. Oh, we should have crossed over there. Anyway, little guy going to France and buying all that copper cookware and bringing it back to the United States when nobody else was doing it. Hanging out with Julia Child and James Beard. And then all of a sudden, everybody has that stuff. I always loved Pier 1 because the one in Hollywood was great. Now it's a Harbor Freight. If you ever want to buy something, Harbor Freight, they treat you like a queen. I had the most hilarious experience there, and they didn't laugh at me at all. I'm not going to tell you what it was. I got to meet Julia Child and Jacques Pepin one time. Definitely like in her latter years. She was doing a book signing when it was whatever that Julia and Jacques cookbook, and literally you would have to wake her up. All right, kind of lovely lady though. Well, she lived in Cambridge also. What great windows. My issue with Rachel Ray is that she would do all those like meals under blah 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 and then wouldn't tip those people. I understand that you're trying to eat cheaply, but choose something cheaper if you're not going to tip somebody making $3 an hour. Sorry. She was also iconic because there was nobody doing cooking shows really like that. And she was a spy. Do you think it's like, what's the next sort of like quasi-empire going to be that somebody makes? I mean, I watched Julia Child as a kid, but also that, I gotta say, I spent a lot of time watching PBS, although we talk about our favorite sitcoms all the time. I watched a lot of PBS when I was a kid. Once Upon a Time, a classic. I can't remember what that show was called. Once Upon a Time, a classic? I tried watching Masterpiece Theater. That kind of sucked when you were a kid. A couple times. Once Upon a Classic, that's what it was. Also, PBS was a channel that you could get without cable. So, growing up in New Hampshire, we had WUNH, Channel 11, and then also Channel 2 from Boston, which brought us Zoom. I'm so sad that the government is so anti-public broadcasting system. Imagine living out in the middle of nowhere where you cannot get cable. It's one of the only channels that... Actually, PBS goes to more homes than any other network in the United States. I grew up watching also those British shows. Remember, there was a show called Are You Being Served? It was about a department store. Took place in the 70s. Everything was innuendo and like double entendre for sexy stuff. They had a gay character. They had a character that looked like Divine. Don't get me wrong, I grew up on cable too, but PBS when I was a kid was... And Doctor Who. We used to watch Once Upon a Classic also in the classroom. Wait. I'm not waiting. I'm choosing to walk. We're going to walk down Santa Monica a little bit. Then I'm going to teeter up. I'm just trying to find a cooler street than Labrea. Monty Python. I didn't get Monty Python, obviously, when I was a kid until I was in high school. And I thought it was the shiz. Except that wasn't invented yet, so I thought it was cool. Coming up on the Tesla Cafe. I wonder when that's going to open. I never saw Wishbone. I like to call my dog Wishbone, though. He doesn't look anything like Wishbone. We missed the hipster block. It's right down there. So, I definitely grew up on PBS. We also had a channel, WLVI 56 that you could also get clearly from Boston, and that had like movies at 8 o'clock, movies from the 70s probably and 60s. But that's where you could see Happy Days and the like. I don't know if they had Bewitched. And then WSBK Channel 38, which was our Channel 10 from Boston, also had sitcoms. No, they got... Who's gonna want to go there? Like... Who would really want to go there? So when I was looking up stuff for the Jane's house the other day, I found this picture of a house that was on the corner of Santa Monica and Western, and it looked like a house from like Oklahoma in the Dust Bowl days. It was just like all alone sitting on the corner of Western and Sunset, or Western and Santa Monica. It was kind of crazy. You know, I hate to say it, it's pretty cool looking, but I will say this, the address numbers are already falling off of it. For starters, when you build a truly streamlined building like that, my other issue is the seams. If you follow never mind, I could be a jerk. The seams don't line up. I'm not an architect. I mean, also I'm not in love with Elon O'Caron, so maybe I'm just looking for things not to like about him. All right, so we had one donut today. Should we go for two? Because coming up here on the left is another donut shop. This place, historic. It's a Trejo's Coffee and Donuts. I've never had either a Trejo coffee or a Trejo donut. I have had his tacos. Pretty good, really good actually, just a little overpriced and small. I'll take a street taco. Anyway, this place used to be called Croissant Time. And this whole little plaza was in Tangerine. I mean, the Croissant Time was a major, that's where they like had a fight in the movie. No, it's just Trejo's Coffee and Donuts. I'm really excited to get in my car and drive tomorrow. I really will be kind of bummed about not having streamed the past couple days, but we're getting a good 3-hour walk in today. And we will definitely be posting up some stuff. We rented an Airbnb with a pool. It's not a luxury anything. We really are going all out with the credit card this week. Tires, haircuts, sneakers, Airbnbs with pools. It's still pretty inexpensive Airbnb. It just happened to have a pool. Ooh, how many steps today? You know, I've turned my 8 miles. The subway is still there, but I remember when there was a Video Peeps XXX shop in the corner. And there was Aaron's Records right there. Well, yeah, I think I averaged 10 and moving up towards 11 miles a day, which is great. But the past couple days, I really just running around and sort of relaxing. I kind of didn't take very many steps. So maybe today my legs will just jump back into action and seize up into a permanent muscle. Whoa. Fat Sal's is right there. Fat Sal's burnt down a couple months ago, like 2 blocks up. I think it was the auto zone that burnt down. So I forgot that what the date was today. I for some reason thought Juneteenth was tomorrow. I also thought the 21st was tomorrow, so figure that out. Are you trying to sing that theme song that you keep trying to write for me, Joey? I would take the day off too. I feel like the story behind it is important, and to think like 2 years, they didn't find out they were free for 2 years. Crazy. Yep, this was my Jack in the Box. I used to live right down the street. Every other Friday, I would get a sourdough jack with cheese. Jack in the Box disappeared from the Northeast after they had some kind of like botulism outbreak or something. This used to be a row of like little print shops and stuff. It smells like stinky chemicals. Oh, there was Fat Sal's. It's a really important day, and I just really hope that we keep celebrating these days and stop trying to bury stuff. History is history, whether it's bad history or good history, but you have to be truthful. You can't not learn anything. I'm getting 11 miles per gallon. Sorry. That's what I think whenever I see one of those. Also, it really looks like Hitler designed that car. What's EBT? Food stamps, I think. I don't know what it stands for, but you can use them at Jack in the Box and Panda Express, but only, I think, if you are handicapped. There are certain stipulation to actually buying like restaurant or prepared foods. Wait a minute. Thanks, focus. I'm trying. I know. I feel like we do take a couple steps forward and then a couple steps backward and then a couple steps forward and a couple steps backward. I really wish, and like it's a problem because it's the 4 years, right? I wouldn't want a president to be president for more than 4 years without electing them. I totally get that, but we have two parties, and we just flip back and forth every 4 to 8 years between the two of them, and then the other one, well, up until recently, the other one just wants to undo some things that the other party did, and so we take a couple steps back there, and now we have Donald Duck, who wants to just undo anything with anybody's name on it other than his. I can't remember if I've ever been to Long John Silver's. I grew up with an Arthur Treacher's fish and chips. I'm assuming it's similar. I did watch a YouTube video where a guy ate nothing but Long John Silver's for a week. It wasn't selling it to me, but I think I can have a fisherman's platter or fisherman's basket for one meal. It is definitely not legal seafood, or skipjacks for that matter. If you can't find it, let me know, because I will send you the link. I think the guy does a lot of stuff like that, where he'll eat from like the Dollar Tree, Dollar General Tree, Dollar Tree, or Dollar General. Those are two stores, right? Isn't there a third one? Family Dollar. Like, he'll eat only food made from there for a week. Those are the only two videos I know of him. Ooh. Milkshakes are $5.99. Too bad I'm full of donut. The 99-cent store carried a lot of food products also, and some produce and stuff as well, which was kind of cool, but like, it's like the pre-made stuff that isn't healthy from the grocery store either. I don't know what's going on. Like Salisbury steak, which I actually love, or mostly Salisbury steak. It's probably not that good for you. The only time I ever went to one of those was I was in Manchester, New Hampshire, and the restaurant my father worked at when we first moved to New Hampshire had become a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General, and I went in that for Band-Aids and maybe a Modem AD. New Hampshire gives me, you know, diarrhea. I feel like I've been, for some reason, Three's Company has been coming up on my YouTube, and it's like a whole season of episodes smashed together, but without the opening credits. I don't know how they get away with that. I get copyrighted for I don't know. We hear a note from an Al Jolson song from 90 years ago, and my video won't make money. So I don't know how they do that, show a whole Three's Company. But and I was thinking about John Ritter. Actually, none of them, the three of them are not alive anymore, right? Joyce DeWitt a few years ago. So the episodes, the way they put them together, they're in order by season, but you know, you just flip out of YouTube and then you come back in and you can't find what you watched, or at least I can't. And then I'll be like 2 seasons later and Suzanne Summers' hair is bigger and everything is kind of like bigger. And Janet has like a short, spiky kind of Pat Benatar look instead of like a mop-it hairdo. It's kind of fun. Yeah, Suzanne, I feel like I wish she'd be more remembered for like standing up for herself and the fact that she was not fairly paid, and Janet Joyce DeWitt was not fairly paid, rather than just a thigh master lady. She wouldn't appear, at first blush to be someone that would like have that kind of fortitude to like stand up for herself for money, walk out of a hit show, and then actually become a hardworking Las Vegas sensation anyway. And you know what? She's the sheriff. Yeah, I think it's hard for me to remember because I feel like she was always part of the show, but maybe after season 3 or season 4, there was like a dispute about how much money, I almost called him Jack, John Ritter made compared to the 2 women. And she wanted more. And that's when she ends up like moving away. They keep her in a couple of episodes contractually. Sorry, it's too many syllables for me to know. And I can't believe how much we talk about Three's Company on this channel. And they had her phone it in, like she would be calling from her parents' house at the end of the episode. They're just beginning to have rights. The rights to me, some of these women's rights that my mom fought for sure, seem set in stone to me. But it's weird how easily things that have been around for 50 or 40 years can just get overturned or taken away. I think that once we're done with the big trans uproar, we're going to work our way back to gay marriage. I never watched that show. I really loved those actors as a kid, but I did not follow any one of them onto any other show except for when John Ritter was on Three's a Crowd with Robert Mandan. I watched that when he had Jack's Bistro. Looks like something's going on at Jimmy Kimmel, but in the back. I think 8 Simple Rules. I did not watch She's the Sheriff either. I just used to like to say that all the time. I will tell you, Ty, I am really happy about that and sort of proud to live in California. It's impossible to love any politician 100%. They're always going to do something that's wrong, some way more than others. I can always find fault with Gavin Newsom if I want to. Generally, I don't mind him, but I really appreciate him the past couple weeks. We really just need someone to stand up to them. It's the same thing with the mayor, I generally like her even less. I actually could say that I don't mind Gavin Newsom. I was really bothered by his podcast where he was kind of sort of playing both sides of some of the issues that he has stood up for traditionally. But I still generally have liked him. Karen, I just I see just more related to my day to day, and I see that our city has a lot of homeless people still. I hear them say that they're taking care of this many people. I still don't see a lot of housing or solutions for that. Um, and yeah, I did not like the prior mayor for personal reasons and public reasons. I didn't hate him as much as talk radio does. I think they call the mayor yoga pants. I don't want to get sued, but I was his neighbor before he was the mayor. And it's also like inherently corrupt. Like people will take advantage of anything that they can take of eventually, you know? And Los Angeles city government is historically pretty terrible. I mean, there was a fight with the city council a couple weeks ago, or like a year ago, where there were two different types of Latinos fighting. And it was kind of weird. Do you expect me to walk all the way to Petco? Yeah, I'll walk to the Petco. Oh my god, ice cream number 1, very tasty. So this is pretty awesome, although the one time I tried to go here who wasn't open, or he was just closing. This was my idea. I should have done it. It seems kind of weird to me that you can just drop a barbecue into a parking spot and fire up. Oh my god, when I was here the other day filming, these two security guards, I don't want to show you what I was looking at because it'll be in a members video, but when I was here filming, those two security guards watching Worlds of Wonder behind me, which is like the people that produce RuPaul, they were just like staring at me the whole time. I did walk back and forth a lot more than I normally do. So my new sneakers, great, except my hideable socks, or whatever you want to call them, my no-show socks, so I look like I'm just wearing super clean feet and barefoot in these shoes. That made no sense, but you know what I mean. Have slipped down below the arch of my foot. It is literally driving my last nerve crazy. I had a donut for dinner. I think that's my total caloric intake for the day. I am gonna make my super awesome salad with beans and corn and cucumbers. Chickpeas, I mean. And peppers. This weekend, again, I'd probably add orzo. I'm really into orzo. Again, I keep saying that, but it's so good. I do need something healthy. So tonight we'll probably have a salad, unless Joe needs to have something unhealthy to catch up to me. Oh, I love Soup Plantation. I had a friend in Boston who worked at Soup Plantation. I always had a hard time saying it because it's one word. So is it Soup Plantation or Soup Lantation? It's like sweet tarts. It's only one T. So is it sweet arts or sweet tarts? Soup Plantation or Soup Plantation? I'm joking mostly. So the one thing I didn't really which we've walked through before, but I really should have walked through, is I got the Jane's house is back there, right?
Sir, can I ask you something?
What's
How you
that?
doing? My name's
I
Dave.
don't shake hands. Sorry.
I don't want any money from you or
Okay.
anything like that. I was hoping if you felt like it, could you help me get a hat?
I don't have.
Like I said, I don't want you to put any money
Oh no
in
no
my
no!
hand.
I'm
Could you
sorry.
help me get a hat.
I cannot help you
All
get
right,
a
you
hat.
have a couple of bucks?
I have no money.
All right.
I'm very sorry. So the Jane's house. I'm sorry. He asked me to help him buy a hat. I would love to help him buy a hat, but I just really spent a lot of money on tires, and I have no spare money right now. I have a little donut money. I also never carried cash. Also, I would really love a new hat. But I have plenty of hats. If I could, I would have gotten a hat. Let's stop. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Hey, Valerie. Soup and Fresh. I'm glad it kind of lives on. It was such a great concept. They're gonna open. What's the other place that we all love? That's kind of like that. Oh my god, I forgot. I can almost see the name in my head. We talk about it all the time. We'll see it soon enough. You know, I comment further up about a lot of the people not being from California. It's if I had to live on the street somewhere, though, this is the weather to do it in. It almost never rains. I love taking tomatoes. Sometimes I don't really love tomatoes, but I'll use them in a sandwich. When I have a leftover tomato, I'll usually just fry it in a pan so the sugars come out, and then I'll feed it to Joe with some salt or balsamic vinegar on it. Hey, Simply Sonora. So also in the 80s, Governor Reagan, or maybe the 70s, sorry, Governor Reagan had, I can't really remember exactly what he did, but I can bring it up again. He stopped support and a lot of mental health support, and a lot of people were just like turned out onto the streets at that time. But also, it's a problem here, and what happens in California actually happens other places. Rent is really expensive all over the country. I mean, I remember hearing in Australia that the PM was telling people, or somebody was telling people, get a roommate. You might have to live with somebody else. I heard 28 years later was crazy, by the way. I can't wait to see it. Like, I don't really think that we take housing very seriously, or healthcare. We'll have some greens tonight. I think we have some greens in the fridge. I'll just eat them out of the bag when I get home. think we could have a healthy fried chicken salad. I'm joking. What are you honking at? You want him to drive into somebody crossing in the crosswalk? Fun stuff. I would actually love a summer roll. That's spring roll. I think we have most of the stuff to make them. Shit. Rice. Brown. I think this is before brown rice was a thing, but I would get steamed rice and broccoli and then dump peanut sauce over it. So delicious. I love peanut sauce. Oh, mighty bull. Hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. Always spitting the wisdom. Happy Thursday. I love it's my favorite peanut sauce. Also, I watch this lady on TikTok or YouTube. Whenever you have leftover peanut butter in the jar, don't throw it out. And then she just dumped some oil, something else in there, and made peanut sauce with the leftover peanut butter, which is pretty fantastic. I used to get Jade peanut sauce. It's so good. But now I just get a grocery store one. I don't think they make that brand anymore. It's pretty easy to make. Try just taking some leftover peanut butter in a jar as your base, and then I just add whatever you're supposed to add to that. I can't remember at the moment. And shaking it up. It's the best peanut sauce. Who do you think she's taking a picture of? I'd always love to know. Jennifer Lewis. I don't know who that is. Oh my gosh, we never look at the stars. Here, we'll look at some stars. Larry Elder, Amy Adams. Luke Arthur Treacher. I thought he only had a fish and chips. We do love ourselves some Capitol building. I was trying to rush around the two guys in front of me. So we weren't filming them from behind the whole way. Hollywood and Vine Station. Thelma Todd, Ruth Rowland, Donald Wood. I love sauce of any kind, yeah. Today we had some healthy, I don't know what they were. They're like tortillas, but for white people, like they're green and got spinach in them and they're for wraps. So I made quesadillas. Again, we're picking through our refrigerator just to not go grocery shopping before we go out of town. And I made a sour cream and salsa sauce. It was so good. I mean, really, it's not so much of a sauce as me just mixing sour cream and salsa together. Really runny salsa. Amoeba Records. We usually get whole wheat tortillas too. Sometimes the carb balanced tortillas. But these were like, they're not even tortillas, they're actually wrap bread. Like it's green and it's like on the same shelf as the tortilla, but it's like spinach and vegetable flavored, but kind of like imitation vegetable flavored. I just like, you know, those $5, probably not $5 anymore, last time I went to Trader Joe's, but those like wraps they have at Trader Joe's. I want that bread. Those wraps stay together, they don't fall apart. Leftover? Well, that sounds really good. Orange juice as a base for a marinade with beef, fantastic. The acidity in it kind of makes the meat really tender. Even the crappiest cut of beef, if you just soak it in a little orange juice, delicious. I'm glad I ate a donut before we got to the potluck portion of our chat, though. That half quesadilla was kind of definitely not filling me up for the day. The Fonda Theater. If you have a chance to see a show in here, it also has a carpeted inside, but a really nice theater with a bar. My problem with Trader Joe's is the parking lots are terrible. The Trader Joe's that we have closest to us is in the W Hotel over there. And I used to go there all the time when I had an electric car because they've got a charger like buried away in the back. But I find that Trader Joe's, everything is like $5. At least this is when I went to buy there. But it's like packaged to sell for $5. And you're like, yeah, bargain, bargain, bargain. And then everything is really small portions and over-packaged. And I feel like there's Lucille Ball. I feel like you're paying for more packaging. But I love Trader Joe's. I just don't shop there. Again, not again, I don't know why I said again, but we really go grocery shopping on the daily almost, or every other day, versus a big $200 haul. It's more spontaneous. I love super spicy food. Actually, when we keep getting the papaya salad, we have to up the spice level, and they're always like, are you sure? I don't think we've gotten to like the spiciest level. Oh, I hope this robot doesn't hit me in the knees. Maverick is on delivery. Who names a robot Maverick? Ooh, I almost stepped in that tree hole. This is the LA Pride Village, Trans Galleria, and more. So that used to be the Hollywood Museum of Death. I mean, Unalive over there. I believe that's where it was. That guy has a YouTube channel now. I think I've mentioned him in a roundabout way a couple times. I was thinking like the record label Maverick, just kidding. It sounds like a name that would be popular with yuppie people. Maverick and Colton. Maverick is going to be the new Kyle. Dude, everybody says unalive. Hi, how are you doing? Like everybody, I was like, why are they saying that? Why can't they say the word? This is before I was like actually talking on YouTube. I didn't get it. And then every time they say anything about sex, it's always like the 50s up in here. I would like to not worry about advertising. So every once in a while, I'm going to slip up and say the D word. I will never use any other bad words, though. I'm kidding. Okay, this is like relentlessly cement hot. This is why palm trees are no good. They provide no shade to no one. I remembered it and then forgot it. I looked it up like that day, and then she actually commented on my. It was a TikTok. Stephanie is her name, but I don't think that's what she goes by. And she lives downtown. I'm really only pay attention to YouTube, like religiously. TikTok I go on maybe once a week. And I certainly didn't post anything about the protests on TikTok. I was just making kind of silly video versions on TikTok of the stuff that I did. And Instagram, I think I only ever had like 7 followers, and it felt really like, why am I doing this? So I kind of gave up on Instagram pretty early on for this channel. Thank you so much. Look at this beautiful car. I hope it turns. I'd really love to see it go by. So everybody kind of loves Instagram, and I used Instagram like, I don't know, 7 years ago, so I have a personal Instagram. I just love this guy's car. Beautiful, 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 beautiful car. I wish you could see it. I love vintage cars too. I love owning a car that makes me nervous. I think I just came to that conclusion. So I love having a car that I have to worry about while I'm driving. By the way, when they checked my tires yesterday, they checked everything and they said, "Your car is perfect." And I said, "Thanks." And then I drive off the lot, and they also checked the fluids, and my windshield wiper fluid light came on. I think they stole my windshield wiper fluid. So we're gonna about cross over the 101. Let's see what your Thursday holiday commute is. I should not have walked behind that pole. Just go ahead. I don't know what the fuck. Sorry, I almost swore. I don't know why I did that. I would never. Oh, fun. I hope you're not heading home. The thing about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I feel a personal connection to this channel and to you guys with YouTube. Like, this feels like, I know the future, sort of like a little community, digital community of people I like to talk to and hear from. I feel like on TikTok, I never went live because I didn't have 20,000 followers or whatever the prerequisite is. I got a lot of interaction, but, comments and talk to people, but it's just not quite the same thing. And Instagram, I could just never get my leg up on. And then, oh my God, I could go on and on. And then you slightly have to change things for each one because the Instagram stuff and the TikTok stuff are slightly different size, yada, yada, yada. If you have a sob, you can still get it fixed here. I love that. Speaking of cars to worry about, I had a Saab which had no problems. The last year they made them, never had a worry, but I worried about it all the time. Whew. So I have to go home and do laundry. I have to go to Petco and buy some drugs for my dog, the Barker. He's a barker. Bark, bark, bark. Sorry, it's a song we sing to him. And a biter. Bite, bite, bite. But we love him. Hug, hug, hug. Anyway, that's enough. Saabs were brilliantly designed. Every piece of a Saab was just, it was a superior car, except that they broke down a lot. Like, just the fact that the Swedish people, or the Swedish designers, moved the ignition key to the side, because in car crashes, the where the key goes would like smash and break people's kneecaps was brilliant. The air conditioner vents in the Saab are actually in the Smithsonian, because it was a superior way of pushing the ventilation throughout the car. I mean, it was born from jets. Also, totally unique. Not to mention the olden days again, but remember when cars all looked different. A Saab was just something to look at, little egg-shaped. Were they trying to fan me off? I'm not really sure. Yeah, so the doggy CBD, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The best one I ever got, Joe's brother gave us some CBD. I can't remember the brand. That one overworked. Like, I thought the dog was gonna just pass out. I think we might have given him too much. It was a droplet. And then at, what's that grocery store? Cost Plus Market? No, not Cost Plus. Grocery Outlet, sorry. It is really hot. Brain fry. At Grocery Outlet, they had some of that Charlotte's Web, the original CBD little cookies, and we got those for him, and those kind of worked at first, and then they didn't. It's like every CBD thing we get him will work, and then it stops. So, I don't know. I'm leery about getting them. I almost want to go into Marshall's first. Marshall's has some good dog cookies. How does the dog look like a meatloaf? I don't know, my white dog kind of looks like a meatloaf. When he lies down, he's all splayed. I like to call him Buttertop Wheat. Like, he looks like we have two dogs, right? So one's like a terrier, the other's like a poodle, but with straightened hair. And he looks like an English sheepdog. So his back is so big and fluffy, his rump. Really has a rump. But his hair splits in the middle, and it's kind of white and yellowy, so he looks like Buttertop Wheat. I am so dumb. I just really stepped out into the street. So they handle it pretty well. He really does handle it pretty well. Dogs do not handle pot well, so I have not given my dog pot for sure. But CBD, at Petco they have CBD specifically for dogs, and the CBD that I got at the market was for dogs also. I think we've also given him human CBD. I think if I tried, this dog is a biter, so I don't think I could get him in a vest. He's he's like a little meanie, but he's also like a softie at the same time. Whoa, crazy stuff. So the dog in question, we adopted him 4 years old. He's just a nasty dog, right? I say this, and mind you, I don't think so, but he was just a really nasty, sad, angry, grumpy dog in the beginning. He looks like a little cutie, but just mad. So the people that had him before us gave him human Xanax. Yeah. And so it's taken us 4 years, and I totally love him. He totally loves his life. I love seeing him happy. And he totally loves us, but he's also, I think because those people kept him in a crate and boarded him a lot of the times and gave him drugs, Xanax, human Xanax, that I think he just really needs to be around us and freaks out when we come home. And freaks out, like, this morning I went to get a haircut at 9 a.m. and wash my car. I was gone for hour and 15 minutes, and when I came back, it was like I'd been gone for 2 days or for 3 months off to fight the Germans in World War II, or 3 years for that matter. But you go out for 5 minutes, I go out to do the laundry and come back, and it's like he hasn't seen me for years. I've tried giving him Benadryl also for fireworks. But we've used the CBD before. I'm actually, I don't know. I think he needs something more than a CBD. And maybe he really does need puppy Xanax sometimes. But 90% of the time, he's just a sweet and charming and talkative, like growly talkative, not barky. And I like that he has boundaries and he lets you know those boundaries. And he's also can be really snuggly. But he hates fireworks. At the same time that he could rip my finger off, and yeah, he could, and I've grown a couple new thumbnails. He's just a sweetie to me. The other one is just a total puddle of love, though. That's what I need. Gabapentin. So anyway, you guys, this was a nice 3-hour walk. I'll be members only definitely in the next 2 days. I might pop into a live stream. I just can't really schedule anything because we are visiting some family, having some fun, but I definitely will be in and out over the next 3 days. I think because I'm off for this weekend, but here and there, I'll probably be live streaming next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and take Saturday off, and then pop back on Sunday to our regular thing. Anyway, I'll have to work that out. I want to once again say thank you to all of our lovely members. Thanks, Brenda. The mean dog touches my heart. The non-mean dog, I can't tell you how much we love him, so I'm just talking about the sort of mean dog. It touches my heart. I love to see him sort of become what he is now, even though he did just bite me the other day, but he didn't break the skin, so small steps. I love him. Thanks, you guys, for hanging in there with me. I'll definitely be posting something over the next couple days, whether it's a walk through town, not live. We're definitely going to try to do the Long John Silver's. I just have to work that out with Joseph. That was his idea, by the way. I think mostly because he wants to go to Long John Silver's and mentions it every time we go back there, and we never go. But happy Friday, happy Thursday, happy Juneteenth. Maybe take a look at what that's for and understand why it's important day for us to recognize. So, I'm sorry, I'm coughing uncontrollably now. I will see you soon. Thank you all for being here. I'll be in touch. Have an awesome Thursday. I want to say Friday so bad. I don't know what I'm trying to do right now. I don't have heat stroke though, don't worry. Bye.